charged with the whistle. Former Everton manager against a possible future Everton manager. That's the tale on the touchline. And it is West Ham, of course, in the claret and blue. Onto the front foot straight away.
Zegelar's
with a problem.
Zegelar's taken one, John, from Andy Carroll. And a very deliberate movement from the kickoff by West Ham to look for the head of the big man. And I think a swinging arm has done the damage.
Welcome to English football.
Yeah, there you go. Well, he's kind of known for doing that. It's hard to be absolutely sure whether there was any kind of real intent in that. Maybe it's just kind of early match aggression, just trying to kind of get in the ascendancy from the word go.
One for Richarlison to chase after. Gray and Hughes are in the middle, cleverly arriving. Zegelar and Hughes, and then Gray and Hughes. Well, for all West Ham's aggression and their diligence, it is Will Hughes who has swept the ball in.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a nice ball to kind of start it all off with Richarlison, and Zabaleta's kind of squared up and said, well, you're not going to get through here. The ball in from Zegelar is very, very good, but I think Gray gets extremely fortunate. His first touch is immaculate. His second is just a complete pull, and Watford have benefited with a big stroke of luck in that it's gone straight to Will Hughes, and there's not much Aaron Cresswell can do to try and get a block in front of it and keep it from finding the back of the net.
Perfect start for Marco Silva and co, and whilst he celebrates, Zegelar sprinted across to the dugout and has availed himself of a new shirt. The previous one was covered in blood. Pantomime season fast approaching in England, and Watford fans now have their villain. Cleverly. Femenia. Hughes. Gray now. Turn into the challenge of Obiang. Hughes. Femenia. Now Britos for Watford. Richarlison. And Richarlison in space. Femenia. Perilously close.
Yeah, he's claiming that it just came off the West Ham player, and that's why it went wide. But I think the early one for Richarlison, I think with the 1-2 at Gray has kind of worked extremely well, but he knew he didn't have it anywhere near the corner. And he wasn't the only one claiming. There was another player or two in support of Femenia that this got a touch, and it did. Apart from that, I think West Ham have applied themselves fairly well defensively. This is their problem. Whether they can make of situations like this now.
Arnautovic. It's the second time that Arnautovic, Carroll and Lanzini have started a game together. The previous time was against Burnley when Carroll was sent off. Here's Kouyaté! Very important stop.
What a save. And we were just kind of contemplating as to what West Ham are capable of constructing at the other end. And this is excellent. I mean, Obiang, it doesn't come off for him. Carroll rescues the situation, but this one-touch football is superb to get Kouyaté into the space. Gomez, absolutely superb. It really is, because he was quickly off his line to suffocate the situation.
An outbreak of what true Hammers fans would regard as their type of football. Gomez, decisive. Now the break, conceivably on for Richarlison. 4 for company. Femenia. West Ham were outnumbered in the middle, still might be. Hughes.
Too awkward for him. He just tried to get himself in position for a bicycle kick and couldn't manage it. But this is a wonderful break. and once they escaped the attempt by Noble to stop it, and Femenia is fed. What's the nutmegs on Obiang? Very clever, and this was just too difficult though for Hughes. Yeah, aim for Carroll again, and Zegala not jumping with him this time.
Zabaleta. Oh, great save, but Arnautovic denied again. Gomez, totally heroic, not once but twice.
Superb keeping from him, it really is. And I think there might have been a little deflection as well. Yeah, there is, off the defender from the first header by Arnautovic. On the second, I think he should have scored. And credit the goalkeeper because he managed to stop it, but he ends up just prodding it the second time, Arnautovic. He could have come up with more.
Seems to be part custodian, part conscious for this Watford side. Keeps them on message, on point. Here's Richarlison. Angle there. It nearly got a touch. Flag was actually up on the far side.
Yeah, it might have been up against Doucouré, who kind of involved himself by running right in front of the goalkeeper. But always looking to do this, Brazilian to come inside. He didn't get enough contact. In fact, it was Gray.
Hart away, with Zegala closing in.
And Lanzini being tucked in affords this space.
Femenia. Fired in towards Gray, who was vying with Reed for it.
Yeah, I just think at times I think Watford can avail of this more with Femenia, because Lanzini is not doing enough tracking. And when he does just flick this inside, I mean, it's hard for Gray because it's a little behind him and he's ahead of the front post, so very difficult to get that one right.
Diafra Sakho has been sent to warm up again by David Moyes. Arnautovic, wrestled by Britos. Kouyaté has missed another very presentable chance.
Well, maybe that will signal the introduction of Sakho, because this is really good work. Britos held on to Arnautovic for a moment, did well to let go, otherwise it could have been given away a penalty. And in coming onto it like that, you're thinking all you've got to do is just get over it. And Kouyaté does the opposite. How many chances is he going to see go begging?
Figured after hosting the World Athletics Championship, they lost all 3 of those away games. So they've been playing catch-up ever since. Hughes. Doucouré! Well, Hart was standing still.
Well, Doucouré as well, his reaction says it all as to how close it was. And again, it's really well worked down the right-hand side with Femenia. It's too easy for him just to fizz it around. Found Will Hughes with ease, and I just wonder whether it was a little nick off Bonnet. Doucouré didn't claim, but there might have been a touch.
It's cleverly. Andre Gray. Bonner followed him stride for stride. Space now for Will Hughes, prefers his left. Deflection made it kind for the keeper.
It did. It just took all the fizz off it. And once it was fed back to Will Hughes, it was perfect, because he doesn't have to mess around and try to get it on his left foot. It's already on it.
Doucouré. And Gray.
Well, he wants a corner.
He's got it in the end.
Yeah. Well, that's more like it. I mean, Doucouré's charge, and yeah, it did clip a West Ham leg on the way through Winston Reid.
Well, up goes the roar from the Rookery end. Spectators getting up out of their seats, tearing for a better view of this Will Hughes corner. Carroll's header, then cleverly, bravely. Hughes again. Header down, great save by Hart. Terrific save. Mariappa turning away in huge disappointment. Here's Doucouré, now Kabasele. Joe Hart's turn to excel. Gray. Femenia, neat construction in Watford's football. Doucouré, Hughes. Femenia waits, Femenia delivers. Carroll leaps and fends off Kabasele. Kabasele. Will Hughes did clip his hand, did help him to control it. This is Richarlison. And that's two, through Joe Hart. West Ham have been pinned back for minutes on end. And finally they've cracked.
Yeah, I mean, it's accidental by Will Hughes. It catches him on the arm there after he tried to control it. It's not deliberate. But once he feeds Richarlison, Reid is saying, well, go on, try it on your left-hand side. I'm not letting you come in on the right. Let's see if you're any good from there. Well, he was. He got enough behind it to prevent Joe Hart from getting enough behind it. And maybe Joe Hart could have done a little better on that too. That seems to be in keeping. But was it handball? Not deliberate, accidental, but yes, it did help Watford's cause.
Had a material influence. Richarlison still had plenty to do. Watford coming into this off the back of 3 consecutive defeats, yet there's been so much to admire about their play today. Hughes, Doucouré.
I like watching this guy because there's a flair about what he does. You know, you get that thrust from midfield, and you know either foot he's willing to have a pop.
Masuaku fired in, and Lanzini. Kabasele on the line. They're claiming handball.
Can't be, because again it came off another part of Kabasele's body first, or his legs, and then caught his arm perhaps. So that would have been very hard to give too.
Well, Kabasele, the man that protects the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, I mean, he does very well because he reads the situation and gets back. And yeah, look, you can't give that. You know, he's not intending to play it off his own hand, but he got his right foot to it. And the fact that it was left and just bobbled up like that, then it's, again, accidental, not deliberate.
Now a possibility for Watford again, laid in, looking for either Gray or Hughes. It's Cresswell that sweeps it away.
Well, I think the wing-backs have done, you know, quite a lot of good work for Watford. And Zegelaar, who's gone a little quieter than Femenia, but nonetheless, you know, always alive to that early ball.
He lost that one by 3-1. Side trail by 2 here. In between times, nearly 900 other games in the dugout. 11 years at Everton. Richarlison tries to steer it, and not so very far wide.
Yeah, well, on his favourite side, his right side, that he loves to come in on. Just couldn't get enough curl. Very good attempt, though.
The tireless Doucouré. The debutant, Zegelaar. Watford's day, all right. David Moyes' new job starts with a defeat. Marco Silva in the spotlight for all sorts of reasons. His side winners today, a goal in each half. Will Hughes in the first, Richarlison in the second. Watford 2, West Ham 0.
Oh, you know what to do. Subscribe here.